The Confederate flag is now more toxic than the swastika. This is SkyWatchTV News for Friday, June 26, 2015. I'm Derek Gilbert. In the wake of the shooting deaths of 9 people at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina last week, retailers, Amazon.com, Walmart, other stores are sending the Confederate battle flag down the memory hole. The odd thing is that when you go online, you can still find items like these for sale. Activists are protesting, calling for monuments to men like Robert E. Lee and Jefferson Davis to be removed from public places. And while it seems clear that the accused shooter was motivated by racial hatred, it's also significant that he chose a Christian church as a target, a fact that the major media is mostly ignoring. If the killer was strictly motivated by race, he didn't need to go to a church to find African Americans, but he was less likely to find armed resistance inside a church. In fact, according to the survivors, he was welcomed into their midst, a stranger who sat with them in a Bible study for an hour before he stood and opened fire. But portraying this as a hate crime against Christians doesn't fit the official narrative. And so the demons who motivated the shooter achieved 2 things: heightened racial tension inside the United States and striking a blow at the followers of Christ, especially the grieving families of the survivors, of the victims. We now have, to the best of my knowledge, our first presidential candidate in history who has participated in an exorcism. Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, who was raised Hindu but accepted Christ as a teenager, announced his candidacy for president this week. He's not only the first Indian American to run for president, but as the Washington Post reports, he wrote a piece for the New Oxford Review, Oxford University in Britain, back in 1994, titled "Beating a Demon: Physical Dimensions of Spiritual Warfare." And in the article, he described an event that occurred while he was a student at Brown University. A female friend at a prayer meeting suddenly fell to the ground, emitting what he described as guttural sounds. But after a period of prayer and laying on of hands, she snapped out of a trance-like state, apparently delivered from the power of the demon. Jindal wrote that the experience solidified his belief in demons, angels, and the supernatural realm. Governor Jindal starts to make progress in his campaign for president. Expect to see progressive media outlets pick up this story and run with it as a way to mock him. And personally, I'd like to see a commander-in-chief in the Oval Office who understands that he's wrestling against powers and principalities and rulers of spiritual darkness. Now, we told you about the remarkable ritual in Mexico on May 20th, intended to exorcise demons from the country. It was a ceremony presided over by a cardinal and an archbishop, led by a renowned exorcist, Father Jose Antonio Fortea. Supposedly, demons banished from Mexico in 1531, when Our Lady of Guadalupe, a Marian apparition, appeared, have been allowed back into the country by the legalization of abortion about 7 years ago. Can demons be evicted from a country? Can demons even possess geographic territory? I asked Reverend Dr. Robert Bennett, Executive Director of the Luther Academy in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and author of the book, I Am Not Afraid: Demon Possession and Spiritual Warfare. And he told me that exorcism should be a daily event in our Christian walk.
This might seem somewhat radical, but I would say that we're continually exercising ourselves and the community in which we live in our country as we invoke the name of the Lord, as we pray the Lord's Prayer, that he would deliver us from evil. And actually the Greek is deliver us from the evil one. And so it really depends on how you're viewing the situation. Is it an individual or a number of individuals? You talked about, well, they had a number of clergy there who were all praying. If the sense is that we're going to gather a bunch of clergy together, and on behalf of their personal holiness or piety, they're going to say a certain prayers, and somehow, as a result of that, rid Mexico or any location or person, for that matter, of an evil spirit, I think that they're kind of in a loss.
Dr. Bennett added that there really is only one exorcist, and that is Jesus. In the UK, farmers are dealing with a wave of animal killings that appear to be satanic in origin. A rare breed sheep was found slaughtered in Dartmoor on the summer solstice. The ewe, female sheep, was mutilated, an ear and a back leg hacked off, the jugular vein was cut, apparently by somebody who knew what they were doing. The corpse had been dragged in a circle to leave a spiral pattern of blood in the field. Dartmoor, which is in southwest England, has been the site of animal mutilations, including ducks, goats, and horses, going back at least 10 years. In 2006, about 100 sheep were found, slaughtered with their tongues, eyes, and genitals removed, and then the corpses arranged in the shape of a pentagram. And a disturbing story from New Jersey. A family there has sued the former owner of a home that they had just purchased. Days after closing on a $1.3 million dream home in Westfield, New Jersey, a family received a frightening letter from someone calling himself the Watcher. The letter read, quote, "Why are you here? I will find out. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s and my father watched in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested?" Follow-up letters make reference to the family's 3 children. "Once I know their names, I will call to them and draw them to me." And this one, "Have they found what is in the walls yet? In time they will. I am pleased to know your names and the names of the young blood you have brought to me." The lawsuit contends that the former owners knew about the Watcher and failed to disclose to the buyers. And in keeping with the supernatural theme of this report, it appears that the ancient Greeks were afraid of zombies. Archaeological digs at a Greek colony on the island of Sicily found some bodies buried underneath heavy weights, apparently to keep the bodies from rising from the grave. Some of the graves also included lead curse tablets addressed to underworld deities, deities like Hades or Persephone, where it was believed would direct the spirit of the dead person to fulfill requests on behalf of the living. And ancient teeth discovered in a cave in Israel suggests a new theory for the origins of man. Well, not new from a biblical perspective, but new from the perspective of academia. Researchers at Tel Aviv University say that the teeth are from a previously unknown species, an ancestor of modern man. That means that the official narrative that humanity originated in East Africa might have to be rewritten to show a Middle Eastern origin. Tests on the teeth show that the owner was primarily a vegetarian, which again tracks with the biblical narrative because it wasn't until Genesis chapter 8, following the ark's landing on the mountain of Ararat, that God gave meat to humans to eat. And in politics, the Palestinian Authority is submitting evidence of what it calls Israeli war crimes to the International Criminal Court. This effort is intended to punish Israel in the court of public opinion and advance Palestinian claims for statehood. The International Criminal Court has no jurisdiction to enforce its ruling, so it remains to be seen what effect this will have. This week, we talked about a one-world government on SkyWatchTV. Dr. Michael Lake in the first of a 3-part interview with Tom Horn about his book, The Shinar Directive, Preparing the Way for the Son of Perdition. If you didn't get a chance to watch it live Tuesday night, you can watch it on demand now. It's posted at SkyWatchTV.com. And of course, it's available anytime at our Roku channel. If you have a Roku account, you can add the SkyWatchTV channel to your account by just searching for us in the channel store, or log on to SkyWatchTV.com/Roku for instructions. The new issue of Skywatch magazine has been posted. It features articles from Tom Horn, Dr. Michael Lake, Gans Shimura, Josh Peck, yours truly, and the first installment of a supernatural thriller, Skinwalkers, by Sharon K. Gilbert. The Skywatch magazine is available for free. Just log on to SkyWatchTV.com and look in the top menu bar there for the link to the magazine. And this month, as our way to thank you for your financial support, your gift of $10 or more, we're offering Angels in the Fire, a story of supernatural rescue, and a true story, one that's been corroborated by the first responders on the scene of this horrible, horrible traffic accident. Angels in the Fire by Dan Stadler and the Disaster Survival Bible. Both of those we will send to you for your gift of $10 or more, and instructions on how to donate to Skywatch TV are posted at skywatchtv.com. Your comments, questions, and suggestions are always welcome. Send them to me at dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching. Have a blessed weekend. And we'll keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is Skywatch TV.